Hello everyone, we are going to start with another lecture of performance management, and in this lecture we are going to deal with mix and yield variance along with normal losses, right? So this is basically the similar question, similar type of question which we did in the previous lectures, but in this question the new area is this one, that there are examiner may give you some normal losses, and there will be some standard input, some normal losses, and standard output. So these three things are new. Actually, these two things are new in this question, because in the previous question usually standard input quantity has been given, right? Let me check if it's recording. Yeah. So usually standard input quantity is always given. Now in this question standard output is also given. So let's see what will be its impact on the calculation part. See, first of all we have to calculate the mix variance, right? First of all we have to calculate the mix variance, right? Now for mix variance the first thing which we have to calculate is the standard percentage of input, right? So there are three raw materials. Raw material 1, raw material 1, raw material 2, and raw material 3, right? So let's start calculating the standard percentage of input, right? So raw material 1 is 2 kilograms. Raw material 1 is 2 kilogram out of how many kilograms? 10 kilograms. Remember my words. Mix variance percentage is always calculated by using the input quantity, right? We are what we are calculating, we are trying to calculate that raw material 1 should be how many kilograms of raw material 1 what will be the mixture of input, right? We are not calculating the mixture of output, we are actually calculating the mixture of input. So we have to calculate raw material standard percentage with respect to the input quantity, right? So we will divide. So raw material 1 is 2 out of 10, that makes 20%. Raw material 2 is 3 out of 10, which is 30%. And raw material 3 is 5 out of 10, which is actually 50%. So this is basically the standard proportion, right? Now, then we calculate actual input in standard mix. Actual input in standard mix. Now, first of all, you have to identify that what is the actual input, right? Actual input, see, this is basically the situation. Actual input of raw material 1 is 15,800, raw material 2 is 23.9, raw material 3 is 41.3, and this figure is actually representing total material input, right? So we have to consider standard actual input in a standard mix. So actual input means what? We have to consider this 81,000 here, right? So we will say that, okay, fine, look, 81,000 kilograms, we made an input of 81,000 kilograms. Out of 81,000 kilograms, out of 81,000 kilograms, 20% should be raw material 1. So 81,000 times 20% is 16,200. So 16,200 kilograms should be 1, and 81,000 times zero point 0.3 is 24.3. 24,300 kilograms should be of raw material 2, and 81,000 times zero point 0.5 is 40.5. 40,500 kilograms should have been raw material 3. So this is basically what we believe that should have been done by the production department, right? Now, what is the actual situation? What is the actual mix? Sorry. What is the actual mix? Actual mix is this one. 15,800 kilograms of raw material 1, 23,900 kilograms of raw material 2, and 41,300 kilograms of raw material 3. This is the actual input, right? So what is the difference then? In the first case, difference is 16,200 minus 15,800. That makes 400. And since actual input is lower, this is towards a favorable variance. This is not the variance, this is just the difference, right? Then 24,300 minus 23,900. 24,300 minus 23,900, that is equals to 400, right? Again, this is favorable because actual input is lower. And the last one is 40,500 minus 41,300, that is minus 800. That means actual input is higher. We made an input of 41,300 instead of 40,500, so actual input is higher, right? So we calculated the difference. Now what we need to do, we need to multiply it with the standard price. Standard price is this one, 20, 10 and 7, right? So 20, 10 and 7. So what will be the variance in this case? This will be 8,000 favorable. This will be 4,000 favorable. And 7 8s are 8 into 7 is 8 into 7 is 56,000. 5,600, I guess. Yes, adverse. So the overall variance is 8,000 plus 4,000 minus 5,600 is 6,400 favorable. And remember what we discussed about favorable variance? Favorable variance means that low price material has been input in higher proportion. Or alternatively, we can say that high price material has been input in a lower proportion. Up to you, both means the same, right? So this is basically total of mixed variance. This is basically total mixed variance. And remember whose responsibility is this? Production department, production manager, right? Now the next one is yield variance. So the question arises now, a student may ask a question here, student may think about something. Where are losses? Losses has nothing to do with the input quantity. Losses is related to the output quantity, right? So losses will be reflected in yield variance, right? So now we are going to calculate material yield variance. Now we are required to calculate yield variance. Right? Now, there are two ways to calculate yield variance. Output in this question is given in two different forms, right? The first form of output is the alpha, because we got 8,000 units of alpha. This output is in the form of finished goods. This output is in the form of finished goods. And there is another type of output which is these 72,000 kilograms, and these 72,000 are actually kilogram. That means this is output in terms of material. You can relate it with this, like for example, one packet of flour is of 5 kilograms, right? So if I say that I have 10 packets of flour, or if I am saying that I am having 50 kilograms of flour, both mean same, right? So this is basically that thing. But the way of calculating yield variance in both type of output is different. So first of all, I am using the method which we have used in the previous questions. And trust me, if I use the similar method which we discussed in the previous questions, you will not see any impact of normal losses. Normal losses will be adjusted by itself, right? Let me try to explain how. Let me try to first calculate this figure, right? So how we calculated yield variance? First of all, we used to calculate standard output, right? What should be the standard output? Standard output using actual input. How many kilograms were input during the process? Period 81,000, right? 81,000 kilograms have been input. And what is the standard input quantity? Standard input quantity is 10. Now try to match. We are considering actual input quantity. That's why we are dividing it with the standard input quantity, right? So if you divide it by 10, then 10 kgs, no? Yeah. This means what? This means that 8100 units of alpha should have been manufactured. This is what? This is the quantity of alpha. This is finished product, right? And what is the actual output of alpha? Actual output of alpha is 8000 units. So we actually got 100 units less than the expectation, and this is what? This is difference, right? This is not the variance, this is difference. And since we got less quantity, that means this is towards adverse variance, right? This is a kind of adverse variance. Now what we have to do now, we have to multiply it with the standard cost per unit of alpha, right? And what is the standard cost per unit of alpha? Standard cost per unit of alpha is 105. So we will multiply 100 with 105 and we will get what? 100 times 105 is equals to 10,500. And this is an adverse variance, so the yield variance is adverse, right? So again the question arises is where is this is the yield variance. Now the question arises is where is the normal loss? Where is the loss? Loss has been adjusted. I mean, loss is automatically adjusted whenever you follow this type of this method. There is another way of doing the same question. There is another way of doing the same question. So let's start with OR. Either you can use finished goods for the yield variance, or you can use material as a yield variance. Now let's try to identify how. I don't know if you remember losses or not, process costing and losses and everything or not. But see what we are saying. We are saying that whenever we input 10 kilograms of raw material, 1 kilogram will get lost, and we will get 9 kilograms as an output. So what is the normal loss percentage here? Normal loss is 1 out of 10. That makes around 10%. So we are expecting that whatever quantity, irrespective of the fact how many kilograms we are inputting into the process, there will be a loss of 10% and we will get 90% of the output, right? This is basically what is written here. So now the question is, how many kilograms we input during the process? We input 81,000 kilograms, right? So what should be the standard output? Standard output in terms of kilogram, right? Standard output in terms of kilograms will be what? 81,000 times 90%. So 90% of 81,000 is 72,900. So the standard output should have been 72,900 kilograms. Now what is the actual output? Actual output is 72,000 kilograms. So we got less output. actual output in terms of kilograms is 72,000. So we got 900 kilograms less than the expectation, and this is what? This is basically the difference, right? Now we have to multiply it with the standard cost. Now this point is really very important. See, here we multiplied it with the standard cost per unit of alpha. Why? Because these are the units of alpha, finished goods. Now these are not, this is not the finished good. This is what? This is kilogram. So what you have to do, you have to divide, you have to multiply this 900 with standard cost per kilogram. This is the first point. Since this output has been calculated by using number of kilograms, by using kilograms, that means what? That means we have to use a standard cost per kilogram in this situation. This is the first point. Now the question is what? Now the question is, see, cost is 105. This is the cost. Now the question is, this 105 should be divided by what? I mean, we should divide 105 with what? 10 or 9? Because 10 is also kg, 9 is also kg. So we should divide it with what? Majority of students do a mistake here. They divide 105 with 10. No, don't divide it with 10. Divide it with 9. Why divide it with 9? Because 9 is the output and here is the output. So you have to calculate standard cost per kilogram of output. Don't use input quantity, use output quantity. This is a mistake which majority students do. So what we will do is we will divide 105 with 9. 105 divided by 9 is 105 divided by 9, sorry, 11.667. Right? So this will give you yield variance. So multiply by 900. See, this is 10,500. Exactly 10,500. Adverse. Why adverse? Because actual quantity is less than the expectations, right? So the concluding point is what? Concluding point is very simple. If we are using in the calculation of yield variance, if we are using finished product, right, then there will be no impact of losses, because in this situation we haven't seen any type of losses, any treatment of losses. But if we are using but in case of losses, and if we are using output in terms of kilograms, then we can then there will be some treatment of losses. Only then you can identify losses in the question, in the solution, right? So is it necessary to remember both? Yes. Why? Because sometimes examiner will give you this output, and there are questions when examiner will not give you this information. Examiner will only give you this information, so you must remember both, right? Acha, what will be the mixed variance in this case? What will be the usage variance? See, we remember we know that usage variance is the sum of mix and yield variance. Mix variance is 6,400 favorable and yield variance is 10,500 adverse. So overall this will be 10,500 minus 6,400 is 4,100. 4,100 adverse, right? So this is the usage variance, right? I'm just telling you one way to calculate this usage variance separately. In case in any question you are required to calculate, you may do it at your own, but just remember this. Now in FMA we have studied that usage variance is what? Usage variance is calculated by, just a second. Mm, Usage variance is calculated by using standard quantity allowed for actual production minus, sorry, minus actual quant sorry minus actual quantity used into standard price. This is the formula of usage variance. This is something which we have already calculated in F2, which we know from F2. Now, how you will apply this formula in this particular question? Uh, let's try to apply the same formula in this question. See, standard quantity. Try to understand this statement. Standard quantity allowed for actual production. So first of all, you need to understand what is the actual production. Actual production is 8,000 units, right? Actual production is 8,000 units. So how you will calculate this? This is for raw material 1. Actual production is 8,000 multiplied by how many kilograms are required for 1 unit? 2 kilograms. 8,000 multiplied by 2, that makes 16,000 kilograms should have been used, but 15,800 kilograms have been used. So 200 multiplied by 20. This is the standard price. So 200 multiplied by 20 is 4,000 favorable. What about raw material 2? Same figure. 8,000 multiplied by 3. 8 3s are 24,000 minus 23,900 multiplied by 10. I think it was 10. Yes. So 24,000 minus 23,900 multiplied by 10. It's 1,000. 1,000 favorable. And for raw material 3, it should have been 8,000 multiplied by what? 8,000 multiplied by 5. So 8 into 5, that makes 40,000. So 40,000 kilograms should have been used, but instead of that, company used 41,300 multiplied by 7, I guess. Yeah, 7. So 1,300 multiplied by 7 is 9,100. Edwards. So 4,000 plus 1,000 minus 9,100 is 4,100 Edwards. Right? Not yield, not yield, not yield. This is usage. Right? Just last point. In case, I mean, it's getting complicated. In case this 8,000 is not given, and examiner has just given you, let me try to clear this, and examiner just gave you this box. How you will calculate yield variance through that? Sorry, usage variance through that. I'm not calculating it again. I'm just trying to calculate these 16,000, 24,000 and 40,000 figures separately. Right? See, it's simple. 2 kilograms are required for the output of 9 kilograms. Right? So 2 kilograms are required for the output of 9 kilograms. And what is the actual output? Actual output is 72,000. 16,000. If you are doing in kilograms, you can also do. Second raw material is 3 kilograms. Let me try to clear this. Second raw material is 3 kgs, right? So 3 kgs divided by 9 kgs multiplied by 72,000. This should be equal to 24,000. Sorry. 3 divided by 9 multiplied by 72. 24,000. So we can plug in these figures and minus deduct actual figures and then multiply by standard rate. So in case try to do this practice, try to calculate this usage variance at your own so that you can identify, right? So this is a very brief explanation of what will be the concept of mixed and yield variance along with losses. I hope you got my point. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.